for a couple minutes there. Thanks for covering for me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay, hopefully I can talk now and finish up. Thank you. Here we go, folks. All right, so, man, I guess I'm getting all choked up with all of this news here that's happening tonight. Now, okay, so we just mentioned that 4 years ago, Trump was my last choice. Now I will walk across a vast plain of burning coals to cast my vote. Now, this is also what's trending across Twitter, 100% fed up. Meanwhile, the 2020 election prediction, despite massive headwinds and Democratic attempts to steal this election, President Trump is positioned to win in a larger landslide than 2016. Let's hope that that's going to be the coronation we're all looking for on November 3rd. So meanwhile, the crazy Hollywood celebrities, the musicians, the rock stars, the radical celebrities who are really embarrassing themselves left and right, like Cher and like Barbara Streisand and Rosie O'Donnell, Chelsea Handler, Bruce Springsteen, of all people, has come out and said he promises he's going to flee to the nation of Australia if Donald Trump wins. Let's see if that holds up, because Donald Trump is definitely going to win. We'll see if Bruce holds true to his word. Tommy Lee, remember that guy of Motley Crue, swears he will leave the U.S. if Trump wins. America is embarrassing itself before the world. Yeah, he's one to talk. He says he's going to go to Europe. Let's go to Saturday, October the 24th, and the headlines. Now, in the city of New York, of course, you know they have electronic billboards everywhere. And right now, there's a billboard that's been put up by something called the Lincoln Project. This is an anti-conservative, or they say they're conservatives, but they're anti-Trump. And they put Ivanka and Jared Trump on the billboard, and it reads, 33,366 plus New Yorkers, 221,247 plus Americans who have died from the COVID. Of course, this is all inflated numbers. Ivanka and Jared Trump threatened to sue the Lincoln Project demons over disgusting New York Times Square billboards. And Glenn Greenwald, the investigative journalist, attacks the Lincoln Project grifters for comparing themselves to the civil rights movement. Now, these are made up of anti-Trumpers, and these are well-known media talking heads, and also the wife, ironically and sadly, the wife of Kellyanne Conway, the former White House advisor. His name is George Conway, and it's called they're called themselves the Lincoln Project. Excuse me. Meanwhile, folks, listen to this. In Beverly Hills, California, that's right, I said Beverly Hills, California now, they have a MAGA rally as thousands upon thousands of Trump supporters show up for a rally right in the heart of Beverly Hills. That was yesterday. Meanwhile, excuse me, let's talk about Netflix. You remember they put out a recent film called Cuties, and the backlash of this has been staggering. It's promoting exploitation of children. And the Netflix subscription cancellations have skyrocketed after this film Cuties was released by Netflix. Now, as you know, excuse me, as we've been reporting, Ghislaine Maxwell is in jail in New York City. There's now an operation underway to spring her from prison and raise enough money and challenge her bail to get her out of jail right now. Now, Yesterday, by the way, yesterday in the U.S. Senate, they actually convened yesterday during a rare Saturday session to debate the Amy Coney Barrett nomination. A procedural vote was then set for Sunday for the final confirmation to occur on Monday. That's tomorrow. So guess what? Today, the U.S. Senate voted 51 to 48 to proceed to final vote to confirm Amy Coney Barrett, easy for me to say, on the Supreme Court. Even Lisa Murkowski and Susan Collins, two Republicans, have joined the Democrats, but it is believed that Murkowski is going to vote in favor of Amy Coney Barrett. Now, what's very interesting is that the Amy Coney Barrett nomination or confirmation, right, to the U.S. Supreme Court. Now, remember, she is replacing the notorious RBG, okay? And, of course, I think this was all timed by the Patriots. Of course, recently, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died after surviving 15 cancer operations and multiple hospital visits, and you name it. Amy Coney Barrett's first case as a Supreme Court justice could be one that decides the presidential election. One of the first cases she could hear as a new Supreme Court justice could decide who wins the White House. If the Democrats cause chaos and contest this election, if it goes to the Supreme Court. We shall see, but that's why she's there. That's why she was put in place right now. And she's going to be confirmed tomorrow by the U.S. Senate. And this is the firewall that'll make sure that President Trump is elected on November the 3rd or whenever they're going to officially announce it. Let's hope it's going to be the night of November 3rd or the wee hours of November 4th. But interesting that this is all coming together. Look at the timing of all this, folks. Now, to finish up the headlines from today, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tells Jane Fonda in an interview it's okay to be on Trump's public enemy number one. That's a good thing. The New York Democrat says she's okay to admit Joe Biden isn't perfect, but she'll still support him. We shall see about that. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, believe it or not, the 80-something octogenarian who's been in Congress forever, has become a multi-millionaire as a result, has committed to running for Speaker if the Democrats keep the House. Forget it, Nancy. Your time is done. Good riddance. Folks, I'm happy to say we're going to finally get rid of Nancy Pelosi. In the state of Oregon, meanwhile, just vote again. Ballot shenanigans rampant in Oregon. Residents report receiving multiple ballots, some from old addresses. Now, listen to this story. This is coming from China. A former Conservative Party leader of China, of the China Conservative Party, warns that China's, quote, evil regime, unquote, is using the pandemic to increase its global power. So here's an insider from the Chinese Communist government actually outing the real true agenda of the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. Former Conservative Party leader Sir Ian Duncan Smith has warned that China's evil regime has been exploiting the coronavirus pandemic to increase its wealth and power globally. Now, to wrap up our intel for tonight, folks, let's be very frank here. get ready now. It is going to get very, very intense leading right up to the election. Now, over this week and into the weekend, up until Tuesday the 3rd. And there's going to be a lot of machinations, a lot of drama, a lot of intense information dropped and released, and a lot of hand-wringing and complaining and whining and tantrums being thrown by the deep state and the Democrats. Now, I also have to be frank and say that a lot of horrific disclosures are going to come out about crimes against children. And this is going to be the undoing, finally, of the deep state, of the global elite, and all their minions, the politicians, the world leaders, the Hollywood celebrities, and many of the famous people you know who and have heard their names before. Now, also, what's going to come out is human trafficking and crimes against humanity that are going to shock you, that are going to sadden you, that are going to depress you as you hear about these. But remember, the reason this is all coming out is they're being purged. The light of disclosure is going to purge them from this planet forever. This is the end of the line for all this, folks. We're coming now to the end, and it has to come out. The people have to know what has been going on for really centuries. And it will continue to be revealed well after the election into 2021 and beyond, as all of this truth and disclosure and evidence comes pouring out. Because look, once Donald Trump is reelected, there's no political ramifications. He can do whatever he needs to do with the idea that another patriot is going to hold the White House in 2024. Okay? Trust me on this one. Who that will be remains to be seen, but there's a lot of speculation that we have discussed previously. Now, listen to this headline. This is from the Gateway Pundit. It was put out yesterday. Breaking. Hunter Biden leaker warns, quote, there will be more than 10,000 pictures and more videos. This is coming from the Hunter Biden laptop. Now, the Patriots have it, the FBI has it, and the Chinese have it. Now, this was a Twitter post put out by the Sharp Edge on the 23rd. And this is a clip of Steve Bannon, and he's interviewing a guy that has, a reporter, I believe, that has looked at the Hunter Biden laptop evidence. And let's play this clip here, our final clip of the night. This is from Steve Bannon's War Room. And listen to what he says in discussing the Hunter Biden laptop.
You've been able to see some of the footage here on the hard drive. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being I can't get it out of my mind ever, 1 being snooze fest, about being horrific. 1 to 10 of the Hunter Biden footage. Where is it?
It's a 20. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This is the worst stuff. This is the worst. I mean, and I spent 15 years studying the Clintons. This is the worst, most despicable, disgusting, filthy, corrupt garbage I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay, that was broadcast on the 23rd of October. So that would have been Friday night on the Steve Bannon War Room. They were discussing this with a journalist who has seen the Hunter Biden laptop. Some of the evidence that's on there. And it's supposed to be just absolutely horrific, disgusting. And what we're learning is the Biden family is on par with the Clintons in terms of their corruption, their cruelty, their abuse of people and children, and it's just staggering. But this is going to come out, and it's going to be very shocking. Now, If we go back to October the 21st and Q put out this drop, 4915, on October 21st, it looks like this was put out around 1:56 p.m. in the afternoon. Listen to what Q wrote here, and we've covered this before, but let's go back and revisit this. A deep, dark world is being exposed. The truth won't be for everyone. Have faith in humanity. Q. In other words, the dark secrets are going to be revealed to the people. What Q has said in the past, only a percentage of it will come out. Some of it is just too shocking, too disturbing for the people to know. So they're only going to take us so far. But this is now going to be beginning. The Hunter Biden's laptop evidence that's coming out now is going to be shocking, as is the Anthony Weiner evidence on his laptop. And I believe the Patriots have been waiting for the right time to release all this. Okay, and I think that's going to come after the election. But some of it's going to drip out this week, right up until next Tuesday. After all of this starts to come out, this will provide the justification, the proof, the evidence, and the really the backing of the American people to conduct the mass arrest of these criminals. But remember, many of the high-level criminals have already been dealt with. It just hasn't been reported. So you're going to see some definite high-level arrests, and this will occur after the election, and into 2021. Now, also, after all this starts to be released and the people are backing this and backing President Trump, backing his administration, supporting the military and the patriots, we're going to see our restored republic. We're going to see a new gold-backed U.S. dollar. We're going to see the global reset, the RV, Gassara, and much more after the election. Now, I'm not saying it's all going to come out once. I highly doubt it. It's going to come out in stages. I think we're going to see something happen before the end of the year, but that remains to be seen. Now, as you know, there's been a lot of speculation about a certain president's or former president's son, who was this president, of course, was assassinated in 1963. And when is he going to emerge? I think that's going to happen, obviously, after the election as well. So this means, very likely, Mike Pence is going to remain the vice president through the election and in through perhaps the remainder of this year. We shall see. But I am confident eventually this is going to come out in the public. I want to leave you with these words tonight. And I want to thank Chris for sending this to me. This comes from something called the Hogue Prophecy Bulletin. And I just want to read you this as is. And this is really words to live by and to leave you with tonight. It is certain that this election, Inauguration Day, and the next term of office may be the last of each as we have known them since the birth of the USA. America will be completely changed. Okay, now, what are they talking about? We're talking about a restoration of our republic, back to a constitutional republic. We're talking about a new U.S. dollar. We're talking about the quantum financial system. We're talking about a fair and equitable economic system for all the people of not only the United States, but of planet Earth. We're talking about GASARA, the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, which ushers in the law of the land across the board, across the planet. We're talking about a global reset with this new system. And we're talking about the currency reset, the global currency reset in the RV. So this is all set to come out. But realistically, this probably could never happen until Donald Trump is reelected as President of the United States. A lot of big things are coming. We still have 2 months left in this year, and we're going to see a lot happen. So prepare yourself. This is going to be a massive disclosure of evidence, crimes against children, crimes against humanity, the unveiling of the cabal and their true agenda to exploit the human race for their own power and their own agenda, eliminating population, killing most people on the planet. And this is all going to be exposed now, and we'll learn about this as time goes on. But here we are. We're in the stage now of the great revealing, the great disclosure is underway right now. So it is really the time that, as I said, we've been waiting for. This is it. We're in it. It's happening. There's no more speculation. It's well underway, and it's going to build and build and build now throughout the remainder of this year. Okay, so fair warning to everyone, and it's time to celebrate. It's also time to brace yourselves for some difficult and some unpleasant truths that are going to come out, but it's necessary to shine the light on all of this darkness so we can eliminate it from this planet forever. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our intel for tonight, and I will entertain questions here for a while, and we'll take your questions by email, and through Maria Love will also be helping us, and also we'll open up our Q&A line for everyone to ask questions. Now, I'm hoping my voice is going to hold up here tonight. Sorry about that. And we'll endeavor to do what we can to answer your questions. So what I'm going to do first, I'll open up the Q&A line.
Q&A session has started.
And then I'll bring back our co-hostess, Maria Love, to help us out with any questions that have come to her. And we'll open up her questions first. And if she has anything to give us, and then we'll check our emails as well. So Maria Love, are you back on?
I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead and fire away the questions.
Okay, there's a question here from Barb P. And she says, Susan Collins, Republican of Maine, is going to vote no for Amy Barrett. Is she cabal?
Yeah, I think she is. And I believe she's up for re-election this year. But we certainly don't want a Democrat to take her place, so we may be stuck with her for the time being. But I'm not a big fan of hers at all. And hopefully she will eventually be replaced, but I just don't know when. And the other really concerning one is Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. Unfortunately, she's not up for re-election, I don't believe, this year. Okay. Next question, Maria.
Okay, this is from Christy, and she asks, how are the White Hats going to remove the clone Pence and insert a new vice president?
Well, I take you back to the 1970s, and Spiro Agnew was forced out as vice president after he was caught in corruption. So he simply resigned as vice president, And then Richard Nixon brought in Gerald Ford, who was approved by the Senate to be the vice president. He chose him, and they just went on business as usual. And then, of course, Nixon himself was forced out of office by Watergate, and Gerald R. Ford became our president. So it's very simple. Mike Pence could be forced to resign, or at least the clone, and then Donald Trump will appoint or pick a new vice president, just as was done in the 1970s with Spiro Agnew and Gerald Ford. and then will need to be approved by the Senate. And basically, that's all it takes. So it can happen at any time. It doesn't matter before, after the election. It doesn't really matter. Just that it happens at some point. Okay, I'll take a question here from the email. What power will Google have over the election? Will they rig? They're going to try on behalf of the deep state. But remember, as we've discussed before, Donald Trump formed an alliance with Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabians own a lot of stock in big tech. And so Donald Trump sent MBS, Mohammed bin Salman, and read the Riot Act to all of the tech companies. So I honestly think that the Patriots are controlling the tech companies, and they're going to be exposed for what their agenda, and there's nothing they can do about it. I'm not worried about Google affecting this election because I just think Donald Trump is going to win, and I just have a really good feeling about it, although there might be some shenanigans about chaos around the voting, and we might not have a winner right away. We'll see. Okay, let's go back to Maria Love.
Okay, so this is from Karen A. She says, assuming a massive landslide, are we likely to have a majority in the House of Representatives also?
Oh, yes. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think the Republicans are going to control the House. I think Nancy Pelosi is out as Speaker. And I think then when the new Congress is getting ready to convene, there could be some arrest of some high-level congressmen and maybe even some senators. And I think that the next Congress, which remember will not actually take place or take office until January of 2021, could look a whole lot different. We'll see. We'll see how much is going to happen before the Congress convenes. But I have a feeling that the Republicans are going to take the House, the Senate, and the presidency, of course, for sure. Okay, let's see. Let's take a question from my email. Scott, regarding Hillary Clinton, Kamala, and Michelle Obama being substituted, how could this happen when 50 million votes have already been cast? I see no ability to allow the DNC to change horses and blind drop out. Again, Dale, I'm speculating. This is a very highly unusual situation. It doesn't matter how many votes have been cast. If the person drops out, that's it. If they drop out for whatever reason, health reasons or treason, if they've been indicted for treason, which I don't think will happen, or if there's just a call for something to be done, as all this evidence comes out about Joe Biden, or perhaps they'll just let Joe Biden run as himself. But there's speculation about all kinds of scenarios. I'm not saying any single one is going to happen. I'm just reporting to you tonight the possibilities. It doesn't really matter who votes. If the person drops out or is replaced for whatever reason, it is what it is. This is why people are suddenly Google searching, can I change my vote? Okay, back to Maria Love.
Okay, this is from Marilyn R. She says, please ask Scott to repeat the numeral and alphabet letter which names the specific Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund shares he mentioned. I think it had the letter C.
Well, it's a Q post, which you should look up yourself with all the information. And let me find it again. I'll have to search for it here. And let's see. So, yeah, it's Q drop number 4932. And the question was about the Templeton. Yeah, I would go back and to the Q posts and read it yourself. I mentioned, let's see, I'm going to read it right now again. Yeah, I don't see a letter here that I was covering, so I'm not sure what you're referring to precisely, but all of the things I read are on the Q drop, qanon.pub, and you can read it there yourself. So the heading of the first graphic was entitled Description, Fund Merge with Franklin Growth Opportunities Fund Class C. Fund Class C. Franklin Templeton Mutual Shares Fund Class C. And this was highlighted in the screenshot in QDrop 4932. Okay, next question. Maria?
Okay, this is a question that I don't have the name of the person, but she asked, did you address the Tucker Carlson guest, Richard Dreyfuss? He presented the DreyfussInitiative.org to teach our students civics again. That's the preamble to the U.S. Constitution.
Yeah.
Constitution.
Mm-hmm. I did not talk about that tonight, and I might have missed that on Tucker Carlson. I'm familiar with that guy Dreyfuss, but I did not see the segment in which he was interviewed. But remember, President Trump has started Project 1776 or something like that to reintroduce civics and history into the curriculum again, the school curriculum, which is long overdue. I don't know, did your parents, Maria, my dad talked about taking, when he was in high school in the 40s, my father talked about civics class that he took. And by the time I got to high school, they had changed it to social studies. Now, did your dad or mother ever talk about taking civics class where they learned about the government and all that thing, those kinds of topics? Maria, did your parents ever discuss that with you?
I don't think they did. I would have remembered, but no, I don't think so.
Well, maybe some of you older Americans can remember being in school and either your parents or you yourself took a civics class, which was, they taught you about the Constitution, they taught you about our republic, they taught you about the founding fathers. Like I said, by the time I got to high school, that was kind of moved out of my school curriculum, and we weren't really taught a lot about that, and it should be. So President Trump has initiated something called Project 1776 to counteract something else that they were trying to implement in the U.S. government about racism and all of this other garbage, and teach kids the real true history of America, which I think is long overdue. So I think that's I guess I would say it's certainly been long overdue. Okay, this is from Michael Scott. U.S. President James Monroe ran unopposed in 1820. Yes, I've talked about that before. And he was the 5th president. If presidential candidate Joe Biden comes under indictment, then would this result in him having to drop out of the race? Yes. If he's indicted for treason, which I don't think is going to happen, he would have to drop out of the race. You cannot run for president if you've been indicted for treason. Then Trump would win the election unopposed and become the 2nd president to win unopposed. Trump is the 45th president. James Monroe was the 5th president. James Monroe, 1820, unopposed, year ending in 20. Donald Trump, 2020, unopposed, year ending in 20. Very good point, Michael. That's exactly what we've been talking about. So yes, there's some parallels there, and it's something very interesting to consider for sure. Okay, back to Maria.
Well, I don't have any other questions, but this person, Bobby, says, I am 77. I remember civics classes, and she graduated in high school in 1961.
Yes, yes, definitely. You older Americans probably remember taking civics classes, and good for you that you were taught that. And my generation missed out on it totally. And they renamed it social studies. What does that sound like? Social justice, right? Which is trending now. Social, society, all of these non-important issues that are so being shoved down our throat right now, like Black Lives Matter and Antifa, which are actually radical far-left insurgencies. Very exact opposite of what should be important to Americans, and that's our real true history from the Founding Fathers about our republic, not a democracy. We are a republic, and about our history of creating a sovereign nation. And guess what? We're going to all go back to that. Isn't that amazing that the Patriots are restoring our republic, our constitutional republic, back to the original version the Founding Fathers had anticipated, had created for us? It is so amazing and so wonderful. Okay, Maria, if you get more questions, let me know. I'm going to open up the queue and we'll take some of these questions.
I have one last question, so when you go ahead and ask your questions.
Okay. I got 1711 on the line. Are you there?
Yes, this is Makasha.
Yes, Makasha, go ahead.
Hi. Great show, of course, always. I was watching the debate with a friend that used to be in the oil industry. And when Joe Biden made that statement about getting rid of fracking, I had no idea how much that encompassed. So he explained to me that his great-grandfather owned land in Colorado, and the oil industry leased the land from his great-grandfather at double the amount of money he had paid for it. And for the rest of his life, as they drill the oil, he gets 20% of the proceeds.
Yes.
So think how many people are in that situation in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Biden is going to get rid of fracking. And then I also asked
which means a loss of a lot of jobs. And what we have to realize is that the environmental movement, the environmentalists, although would consider myself very much of a staunch environmental type person, that I like preserving our federal lands and our parks and recreation, our natural lands. But the environmental movement is a far left insurgency that has totally perverted the science and the real information. And this includes global warming, which used to be called global cooling. That didn't work.
Yeah.
They changed it to global warming. Then they changed it to climate change. And now they're trying to change it to something else. It's all a big scam.
Right.
Go ahead.
And I did ask my friend, I said, I've heard that fracking causes major earthquakes. And he said, not at all. He said, if I told you that you're going to have an earthquake right underneath you, and it's like a 0.1, he said, you can't even feel it. So I said, thank you.
Yeah. Again, that's part of the disinformation that's been put out. And it's been put out in an attempt to cripple the U.S. economy. So thanks for that information, Makasha.
You're welcome.
All right? God bless. Okay, up next, we have got 4579.
Oh, hi, there? Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here. I just want to make some comments. I had civics. I graduated in 1960, but I had civics. Yes.
Okay.
But I had civics junior high school, which my junior high school was 7, 8, and 9, ninth grade.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing I just want to make a comment on Mark Taylor's Twitter.
Hold on, let me ask you something, if I may interrupt you.
Okay.
Suzanne, when you took civics class, what were you taught?
We were taught about government and
they tell you about the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and
all that.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay,
I remember in my school we took it. We had to go outside into a Quonset hut to take it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they didn't have enough room in the school, so they had these little Quonset huts, and you go up there.
Okay.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. That would be in the 50s. So,
okay, great.
And my other comment was I just wanted to say that Mark Taylor's tweet, I got a kick out of it because he said Trump's going to win his first term.
His first term. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Well, he may be elected as our restored republic president, which is very likely going to happen. Meaning, this is his first term as officially as a restored republic, as the government switches back to a constitutional republic. So very interesting. Thank you, Suzanne, for that.
I thought that was pretty cool. And then my other thing was Wells Fargo on that Vietnamese dong. Okay, well, where I live, Wells Fargo, they have it. You can purchase it. They even take it back when you want to turn it in, but you have to have an account.
Right. That's correct.
So
when you
don't have an account, and you're just out of luck.
Right. When
I mean, how many banks can you get?
Right.
So anyways, that's all I wanted to say about it.
Right.
Do you have any suggestions where to go?
Well, some people on our call have recommended the GreatAmericaCoinCompany.com. I have purchased from them, but I can't vouch for them because I purchased
never heard of it.
Yeah, I purchased my dong from Wells Fargo Bank. But if you're looking for Zen, try also Amazon. All right, Suzanne, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
God bless. Okay, let's go back to our queue. And Maria, you can ask your question next. We're going to go to 7398.
Hello there, Scott. Hey, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, I just wanted to add something. There was a lady that was talking on the pre-call, and it was right before you came on. I didn't have a chance to respond, but she had some real good information, and I just wanted to add to it. She was mentioning about what the problems is with these masks is that they create like a bacteria pneumonia.
Right.
Well, I was doing research the other night.
Yeah, that was Ellen talking. I heard Ellen talking in our pre-call, and she might want to chime in on that. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. So I just want to. I did some research, and there's this one doctor that I look at a lot of her tweets, and under one of them, it showed this documentation of back in 1918 when they had the Spanish flu, that a lot of the problems that came from that wasn't the actual flu; it was the problems with wearing the mask because it created a secondary bacteria infection, and then that led to pneumonia. And more people, they said, in this article, of course I haven't vetted it totally or anything, but that article said that more people died from that than they did the actual Spanish flu. And it had a picture way back in those days, and it had a picture of these people that all were wearing masks, and it says, wear a mask or you're going to jail. It was just really kind of like bringing back what's kind of happening today. But I just wanted people to realize that they mentioned cloth masks. They weren't talking about surgical masks, although it could be the same. But the real bad ones are the cloth masks, I guess, supposedly. And I just wanted Ellen to know that, that's the same thing that I was hearing in the same documentation that I saw. And it's just people need to be careful about, keeping something in their mouth and their nose where you can't get fresh air and bacteria. Your own bacteria is probably fine unless it's concealed and harbored, and then it creates something worse than what it was if it was just a normal situation. So
Yeah,
that's all I just wanted to say is that he was right on.
Yeah, and I understand it also creates dental problems and all kinds of other issues that go on in the mouth. And yeah, isn't it ironic that these criminals are pushing the mask wearing as they have closed down businesses? They're trying to destroy your health as well, pushing these masks. I just hope this is all about to end here after the election. Chris, I'm sure all of you agree, listening on our call tonight, you're sick and tired of this mask, this COVID-19, and all the crap around it. So thank you for letting us know, Chris. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. God bless. Okay, let's go to our queue again, and then we'll go to Maria Love after this. 1188, are you there? 1188?
Yeah, hey, Scott, how are you?
Hi. Who's this?
Well, it's Mike.
We got a lot. Mike, I'm sorry, Mike, there's just too much interference. We can't hear you. You got a lot of feedback on your mic. You might try and come back in. Let's go to 0747. Are you there? 0747. Yes.
Yes. Hi, Scott. This is Kimberly. Thank you for another fantastic call. I have a question in regard to censorship. Just a little story here. I had a private Facebook page that I had people in, 829 of them for the last year and a half, trying to wake up. And as soon as I shared the Hunter Biden story, Facebook not just took the group down, but took my personal page down that I've had for 10 years. No questions, no warning, no nothing. I tried to request it to be open. They said the decision was final. So I waited a week, opened another one up, started the second group. They did it again. Now I'm on 3, but I'm communicating with people through Telegram, which will be safer for now. But because of Section 230, I think that's what it's called, isn't it illegal to be doing that when it's in regards to an election? And have you heard anything about sites being restored? I heard Charlie said that 7.1 million social media accounts have been taken.
Yeah, it is illegal, but they've been protected from immunity by a clause that they're not a publisher. And Congress is now considering revoking their immunity from this. In other words, they're being protected from being sued for censorship and other, which would be other acts of stifling free speech. So I think you're going to see a massive reconfiguration of social media. After all of this, Kimberly, I have a feeling that they're going to break up Facebook. Facebook bought up all of their competition, like WhatsApp and several other social media platforms, to prevent competition. But I think just like they broke up AT&T and Ma Bell back in the day, I think they're going to break up these social media companies. And as far as I'm concerned, Google, which is pure evil, CIA, deep state, something really drastic needs to happen with Google. And I think you're going to see that because there's a class action lawsuit against Google right now, and the Department of Justice has filed suit. So I think, Kimberly, eventually you're going to see these social media platforms completely reconfigured and probably broken up, so they do not have this kind of power over censorship, over censoring the American people ever again. They're essentially digging their own graves, Kimberly. You see what's happening?
Yeah.
But this is remember what Q has been saying. You can't tell the people, we have to show them, right? Right. Okay. Yep. Anything else?
Okay. Nope, that's it. Thanks.
All right, Kimberly, thank you. Back to Maria Love. Maria, You got another question?
Yeah.
You said?
Yeah, I have several. I have a couple of questions. Okay, one of them is from Christy, and she says, found this paragraph pertaining to Trump's Lumberton, North Carolina rally today, and was wondering if there's something to his wording since he speaks in code. President Trump had another rally, and he said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. He talked about great wives. We have to get our president up through to the finish line on Election Day. So what is he meaning by those words?
Was he quoted? Who was he quoting?
President Trump was quoted and said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And he talked about great wives. And then below says, what is he referring to? Okay, so meaning great things are coming after the election and next year, great wives?
Yeah.
Would that be referring to Hunter's ex-wife, Kathleen, who turned over his laptop to trusted people?
Well, what I think immediately when I hear that quote is that the Q had always said, follow the wives. In other words, the wives kind of are revealing, and this is like, for instance, yes, Michelle Obama, other cabal wives, and of course Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Jeffrey Epstein's partner. That's what comes to mind for me immediately when I hear that line. So I haven't seen the context of the comment. It's hard for me to comment on beyond that. Okay.
Okay.
You got something else?
There's a comment from Bobby M. And for your information, dinar and dong are available at safedinar.com.
Okay, and I assume Bobby has purchased them from that. I have not heard of them before. And in that topic, Laura writes in and says, Scott, I tried Wells Fargo in my area, New Jersey, and the Vietnamese dong was not available through them. Tried PNC Bank, assume, as well, but no luck there either. Ended up going with Great American Coin. Yes, that's the one a lot of our listeners have been recommending, GreatAmericanCoinCompany.com. And they sell just about everything, including gold and silver. And I know a lot of our listeners recommended they purchase from them. So as you just heard from Suzanne, that she was able to get some dong from Wells Fargo. So apparently some Wells Fargos are selling it, but many are not. And so I would prefer to buy it from a reputable currency dealer, is all I can say. I wouldn't buy it from eBay. I don't trust that source, and I would say that it'd be more prudent to, if you can buy it from a bank, if you can't, then check out an online retailer and thoroughly make sure that they are selling you legitimate currency. Okay. Okay, this email comes in from Art. Scott, everyone needs to look at the Active Aging 71. Well, Art, we've covered it extensively on this call, particularly during our special Miracles Intel calls. So we have gone over that quite a bit in detail. And he says, to have a better grasp of what contributed highly to our republic in this situation is now. Yes, we are very familiar with that, Art, and have covered it greatly. Well, thank you, those of you who have sent in prayers for me. Thank you to, let's see here. Maria forwarded me this one. The prayer comes in from Dester, and thank you, Dester, for that. Okay, this question comes in from Betty. Scott, will the hologram penetrate any cell phone case? I assume so, yes. It radiates out 25 feet from your cell phone or wherever you're holding it. And question number 2. Why are the executions of political criminals being kept from the public? Why not tell the public? Everyone deserves to know. Thanks, Jamie. Oh, from Jamie. Okay. Because people are not ready for this. They have to be educated. They have to know why these people are being put through tribunals, and that will come after the election. You can't just tell people that they're suddenly been executed. It will look like Donald Trump was a dictator or something, executing his enemies. No. There needs to be some context, some background, some information regarding what led to all of this. You can't just spring this on the people. They're not ready for it yet. This is why we've gone through this year exposing the criminals, the Democratic governors and mayors, and then you're going to expose the Bidens now, and you're going to expose the Clintons and the Obamas, and on it goes. Okay. Maria, do you have another question?
No, there's no more questions. This person, Larry, said that exchangeofamerica.com was good to buy Dawn. So
okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Mm-hmm. Larry, what's the name? Yes?
Larry. Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. All right, so I'm going to go back to the queue, and we'll go back to more questions. Let's go to 2714.
Hi, Scott. It's Joyce in San Antonio again. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Joyce. What's your question?
Well, actually, I don't have a question. I just wanted to give some information that people who are looking to buy the foreign currency, the dong and the dinar. I have gone through Exchange of America, and we, as of last year and then this year, we reordered again when you brought it up recently, and we do get a certificate of authenticity for the Exchange of America. It seems to be a very reputable company, and they are also registered with the Department of the Treasury and licensed by the Florida Office of Financial Regulations. And I have a telephone number for them. We bought originally here in San Antonio, but now all those places have been closed because of the COVID. So the corporate office is in Florida, so you have to do this online. So if anybody was interested in going through this company, I do have the information on that.
What's the website?
It's exchangeofamerica.com.
And you spell that as it's said?
It's with an X. No, let me start it. It's X. X is the first letter.
Exchange of America. Okay, got it.
Correct. And they're in Florida. And so you have to go online to register.
Joyce,
and I also have...
And you have purchased from them, and you can recommend them?
Yes, we have purchased from them twice. And I do have a telephone number for them, too. So if anyone would want that, I could get that out.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and give out their number.
Okay. It's 888-796-2962.
Good. All right. Thank you for that, Joyce. Thanks for your
You're very welcome. Thank you. And great show tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. God bless you. Thank you. All right. Back to our queue. We're going to take our next caller, which is 9657. Are you there?
Yes. This is Phyllis. How you doing?
Phyllis, your number shows up as Q-Link Wireless. Isn't that interesting? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's my friend's phone. Mine's not working right now.
Yeah.
But
all right.
my question was the insert that's on the iGuard. How do you remove that?
The what?
On the iGuard, there's an insert. I have to send mine in to get it repaired, and I don't know how to remove the insert.
Maria,
for them.
can you offer anything on that? Maria, love, are you there? Can you offer any help to?
Yeah, I'm mute in and out. What are you saying again? You have to remove what?
Cindy said I had to remove the insert to mail it in to have them put that back on it, because mine is blank. Mine's been erased or something, deleted.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the iGuard itself. It's the black insert into the plastic container. Is that right?
Is that on the top, bottom? Is that on the top of the iGuard or on the back of it?
Well, there's a plastic holder that's stable on the wristband, and you can take the black iGuard in and out.
So I think what they want you to do is remove the iGuard, the black basically the whole device from its plastic holder, and send that in so your frequencies can be restored onto the iGuard.
Yes, but I don't know. Is that on the top or the bottom? You have to get a little tool to pull it up, or what do you do?
No, your fingers go to the side of the plastic itself, and you're gonna pull the iGuard out, straight out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll try. And what was someone lost a lot of weight? The first to the call. What did you use?
No, you're mistaken. She did. Yesterday, Maria Love and I experimented with a new device that actually removes inches. She did not lose weight. She lost an inch or two off her waist with this.
Yes.
So I think, Maria, you still weigh about the same, but you're just a little slimmer looking, right?
Right.
Okay, is that something new that's coming out?
Yes. We'll talk more about that. We were experimenting with this yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So we'll let you know more about that.
I've been trying to go to the website to order the mat, and when I first went to it, it was up, and then it went down. And
hold on.
Mm-hmm.
The mat is not available. We have two mats. The J Tremoline, we have one left, although it may have been spoken for. I'm waiting to hear back from people who have requested information. So we'll have to, we may be sold out of that, but the new mat, the Omni mat, which is coming out in November, is not available for purchase right now, but it is listed on the website. So you'll have to wait until November when it is available, okay?
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Just keep checking the website, and we will certainly let you know when it's available, okay? But it's not available this month of October. And I don't know the exact release date, but it's coming soon. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
God bless. Okay, let's go back to our queue. And we're going to take our next caller, 6235.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay, my name is Mike, and first off, I want to tell you and Mariah, I surely appreciate these calls. I love them. And I have been promoting your call, giving the number out to others, but like me, they have to listen to the replay. Well, the last week, I tried to get into the replay, and they're requiring a password.
Yeah.
If you could
What's your name?
Give me pardon?
What is your name?
My name is Mike.
Okay, Mike. I'm sorry, but that call is no longer available. Last week's call is not available on the replay line, and it is not going to be available. We had to remove it. Okay?
What about the one you're doing now? Will that be available without a password?
Yes, that will be.
Okay, great. Great. And here's something that, all the people on these journalists like Savannah and all them that are on NBC, ABC, and CBS that are misinforming the public on a daily.
Yes.
What's going to happen to them? You know, the last 3.5 years, they have never said one decent word about our president or Melania, and that just, I mean, most people don't even know who she is.
Right.
She's the best.
That's a good point, Mike. That's a good point you bring up. I think some of these so-called journalists, and they're not journalists, they're propaganda artists.
Exactly.
They're going to be arrested for treason. Okay, to this country.
That would be so wonderful because, I mean, I sell insurance. Okay, I go out and see a lot of people, and a lot of them they don't have a lot of money. They're not sitting there watching Fox. I go in these homes and they got CNN and all this stuff on, and I go in to see these senior citizens, and they just hate Trump. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like his hair.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he speaks because they're so misinformed. All they watch is
right. You're exactly right, and it's a shame. It's a darn shame.
Because they are so brainwashed.
I know. You're right. A reckoning is coming. Trust me. The operation to expose the media is currently underway with this whole Hunter Biden stuff. So just be patient. It's happening. Okay, Mike?
That would make a big difference in this nation.
Yes, it is. All right. Thank you, Mike, for your questions. God bless you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go back to and Maria, let me know if you have any more questions coming in. I'm going to go to 5. Let's see here. If it'll allow me to select this one. I'm sorry, I just lost somebody here. 6839.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Go ahead. What's your name?
Cherie?
Okay, Cherie, you have a question?
Yes, I do. I have a friend. She just texted me and told me that if Biden steps down, then Nancy will step in. Is that true?
Oh, no, I don't see that happening at all. Now, you remember now, in the line of succession in our country, it's the president, the vice president, and then the Speaker of the House is to assume the presidency, and nothing's going to happen to our president or our vice president. So there's no chance Nancy Pelosi's going to end up there. Trust me. Okay?
Okay, well,
don't worry.
For that, no way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott.
Okay.
Thank you for
You're
your
welcome.
show tonight.
Thank you. Thank you, Cherie. God bless. Let's go to our next caller. And we're going to take a few more here. Going to wrap it up shortly. 3147. Are you there?
Yes, sir. It's Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
I hear some of the sources for Dinar and Dong, but there is a source that is lowest cost for those who want to go to Citibank that'd be helpful to them.
Citibank, you're saying, Joseph, sells foreign currency?
Like Dong, they have for $50 per million. Great American has $123. So big difference, just to help people. And there is a toll-free number.
Okay. You want to get that out, Joseph? Go ahead.
1-800-756-7050. And they have an automation system that gives all the rates for all the foreign currencies.
Okay, great. Thank you for that recommendation. Yeah, $50 is a lot more reasonable, and that's what I think was the going rate when I was purchasing it. Thank you for that, Joseph.
Just to be helpful. Thank you.
God bless you. All right, let's go to 8808. Are you there?
Yes, Scott, this is Ann and Stefan here in Yelm. And this is a more of an announcement. We've been down flag waving at the corner where Tim's Pharmacy is, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if anybody's interested in joining us, we would love it. And right across the street from the old Triad Theater.
And what time do you do that, Ann?
From 4 until 6.
Okay, and that's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, correct?
And if somebody wants to go down there Tuesday and Thursday, that'd be great too. There's a lot of traffic coming through that intersection of 507 and 510, and people are pretty enthusiastic about it. We've had some people walk up and start talking to us, and we're primarily focused on Culp, but if people have American,
running for governor of Washington State. Yes. Good. Well, that's great. God bless you, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, and also next Sunday, the 1st, there's another MAGA drag the interstate, and that I'm not sure on the times of that. I'm happy to share my number if people want to call me. But we've taken part in 2 of those already, and there's one last one on the 1st Sunday.
Why don't you give out your? Is it okay to give out your email address and people can contact you?
That's fine. It's M.A. Farmer, Farmer, 777 @gmail.com.
Okay, great. So people can contact you about further information on those events.
That's
correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And
thank you, Ann.
Great calls. Really enjoy them.
Thank you. God bless you guys.
God bless you.
All right. Thank you. Maria, anything else come in that you've got there?
No, I don't have anything else. People are kind of quiet on my end.
Okay. Tom writes in and says, Exchange of America is very credible. Okay? And yes, let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the correct website. I thought it was just Exchange, no E. Okay, this is from Karen. Karen writes in and says, also that Psyche Utsava saw that Julian Assange as the new press secretary in the next Trump administration. Oh my God. That would be huge. She has been accurate 98% of the time. The mainstream media will go nuts. Yeah, I would say so. That would be astounding if that were to happen. I think Kayleigh McEnany is doing a tremendous job. And but Julian Assange, I assume that's her latest video that she discussed. Have you watched that Utsava video, Maria, the latest one? Maybe Laura Legere has watched that one. I haven't seen it, but
yeah, it's good. It's really, really good.
Which one? Do you know the name of it?
That was the last one. Oh, I can look it up for you and let you know.
Okay.
But
that just.
I mean, there's so many that go my way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I hadn't heard her talk about that, but that is shocking, to say the least. Okay, Brent writes in and says, Great American Coin issue a certificate of authenticity. All right, Brent, thanks for letting us know. Okay, let's go back to our queue and we'll take another caller. Let's go to, we've got a lot of people in the lineup. I'm not sure we're going to get to all of you folks.
Hello?
5667, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, this is the one you lost. This is Bonnie from Ohio.
Oh, sorry about that, Bonnie. My apologies.
Oh, that's okay. I'm from Ohio. This is just a statement. It's not a question. Yesterday, it's against the law and illegal to campaign at voting places. And Kamala Harris yesterday was at the County Board of Elections with really long lines for voting, and she was trying to sway people's votes. And they were they couldn't get away from her or anything, and there was like Secret Service or something with her, and they were trying to take her mic from her several times, and she finally just grabbed it back real hard and just started going out there trying to tell people who to vote for.
And what state was this in?
It was in Ohio at the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections.
Wow.
That's up by Cleveland.
Okay, Bonnie. Well, that's disturbing, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, thanks for letting
So
us
I just
know.
wanted to let you know on that.
Okay, well, that's interesting. But, of course, not surprising from Kamala Harris, is it?
Right, and when you try to look for it, somebody took the video, and when you try to look for it again, it's gone.
Oh, my.
So.
Okay. Okay, Bonnie, thanks for that information.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna take a few more questions because my headphones are about ready to expire on me. My battery is. That's why I'm gonna have to wrap it up here soon, folks. Sorry about that. Let's try 7924. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Scott. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who's this?
Baldwin.
Hey, Baldwin. You have a question?
Great, sir. I just want to give a shout out to those people in search of the currency, those that are interested. Exchange of America is what I've ordered for them a few times. And
Okay.
There's another one, the Zimbabwe.
Yes.
100million trillions.com. 100trillions.com.
Okay.
With a purchase
you ordered from them?
Yes, I've ordered multiple times.
Okay.
Anything over 500, they'll give you a counterfeit detector.
Okay.
So
okay,
they're
great.
pretty good. Only Zim they carry.
Okay. Well, thanks for your recommendation on that and your endorsement. We appreciate that source.
Yeah, I've been ordering from them, steadily over the years.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, thank you, Baldwin.
Okay. Have a good night. Thanks for the
God
game.
bless. Thank you. All right. Let me go back to my emails and see if anything has come in. Okay. So Maria has recommended this or sent us a link to this video that we were talking about earlier about Julian Assange, and it's entitled, it's on BitChute. And I'm going to look at this real quick here. And it's entitled, I guess it's entitled Patreon Shutdown, Censorship, Find Me on Subscribe. I guess that's the one. Is that the most recent one from October the 23rd, which she talks about Julian Assange. Okay, so that's the Psychic Utsava, where you can hear about that. Okay, I'm going to go back to our queue again. 7246. You up next?
Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. Who's this?
Hi, this is John.
Hey, John. What's your question?
Hi, so, I want to address something and get your honest opinion. I want to let you know beforehand, I haven't lost faith in Trump or Q, but I feel that this is something that needs to be addressed and discussed out in the open because it can help clear some stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So, there's some pictures that have been circulating around on Twitter that show Donald Trump using certain hand signals of the Illuminati and Freemasonry.
Mm-hmm.
Some of his staff, like Dan Scavino, have worn upside down Ishtar's triangles, and then in another picture, someone standing behind Trump had a Freemason pin on his suit, and I wanted to get your opinion on how this can be explained, because I've heard that Trump is an agent of Israel and he's a Zionist Illuminati Freemason.
No. And again, I don't know what the guy's got to do to prove himself. He's done more than any other president. Look at his accomplishment list. It's on and on and on. I don't know the pictures you're referring to, and there may be some pictures that I haven't seen that I can't really comment on at this moment, but my God, what more does the guy need to do as far as prove himself? Judging by his actions, not by a bunch of pictures or anything, he's certainly not a puppet of Israel. He's establishing peace all over the world. He's been recruited by the military to be this president for this transitional back to our republic. He has time and time again delivered to the American people. He's denounced globalism. He's denounced the cabal. It just goes on and on and on. And a bunch of pictures, to me, are just a bunch of baloney, as far as I'm concerned. And I think that you've got to look at what's happening, and look at what he has done, and look at what has been accomplishment during his tenure as president thus far. And it's just an enormous amount. On top of that, the Federal Reserve. On top of that, openly talking about a republic. It just goes on and on. And so I think that you could make a mountain out of a molehill, but when you add up the pros, it's just there's just no doubt about it that Donald Trump is the real deal.
I didn't think so. I didn't think so. I just was a little concerned, that I'd come across this, but I would think that if we were being deceived, many Anons and Patriots would have picked up on that a long time ago.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and he would have been exposed by now, but that has not happened. So thank you, John. God bless. Okay, folks, I'm losing my voice. I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut it short here at the top of the hour. And I apologize, but I'm just having a bit of throat issue. And I don't want to cough in your ear here tonight. So I'm going to take one more question for tonight, which will take us to the top of the hour. And I apologize to the callers that are waiting in the queue. Up next is 5809.
Yes, Scott, this is Helen. And
yes.
I was going to say, if Trump has done any hand signs, it's been the Q one.
Yeah, you're right. He's done a lot of those.
But my question is, from a legal point of view, what about the fact that the person that is passing themselves off as Joe Biden is an imposter? How do we handle that from a legal perspective?
As I've explained, Helen, many times, this Joe Biden is definitely not the real Joe Biden. The real Joe Biden has already been through a military tribunal. He has been found guilty, and he has most likely been executed. Now, this Joe Biden, in my opinion, is being controlled by the Patriots. They are the ones that are getting him to say and do these things, and this is being done on purpose. Always remember what Q has said. This is more than a 4-year election. This is not just about getting Donald Trump elected. This is about destroying or imploding the Democratic Party and revealing to the American people their true agenda. Do you understand? The American people need to be shown. And so Joe Biden, this version of Joe Biden, which is not the real Joe Biden, is helping to do that, and the Patriots are controlling it. Believe it or not.
Okay, I was coming from the point of view of election rules and regulations.
Well, I understand that, but that's almost secondary in terms of this military operation that's taking place. Remember, this operation is called the Great Awakening, okay? And the military has had to do some things to rouse the American people to reveal the truth of what's really been going on in our country. And they've had to do some things that might be very shocking to the people of this country if they don't understand the big picture. But remember that the important thing is the Great Awakening is to waken people out from years and years and years of programming and mind control and propaganda. And it's been on a grand scale to bring us out of this situation in which people don't have any clue about what really is going on. And I realize that sounds like, well, why are they doing this? And you might question some things, but I trust that they have done what has been necessary, what has been planned out, and they are getting assistance from high above this whole operation. So I trust the plan, I trust the military operation, I trust the patriots, and I trust Q and President Trump that they know what they're doing. And I would suggest to you, it's a lot easier if you just trust the plan than try and question why certain things are being done a certain way. It's all will come out eventually, but for now, I just recommend you trust the plan. Does that make sense,
I trust the plan. I trust the plan, and I trust the higher above.
Good. All right.
I was only thinking of ways that this was going to be handled. That's all.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Joe Biden is going to, I think, be eventually arrested. He's going to be indicted for treason. And this version of Joe Biden may be put to a tribunal for the benefit of the people, to red pill the people, and then will be found guilty of treason. So I think that, and they will use the clone to do all of this. Okay? So just be prepared for that. All right, Donna? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Do always the good work. Keep it up. Thank you. Take care of your voice.
Okay. All right. Yeah, folks, I apologize. I am having a hard time just holding on to my voice tonight because I've got, I guess I've got a little bit of throat infection or something. So I'm going to have to cut it short for tonight. And you're at the top of the hour. And I'll just go back to our queue in the emails that have come in here. Hi, Scott. You can find info here on Utsava's backup YouTube site. They took down her website. Utsava Prophecy, welcome to the White House, JFK Jr. and Julian Assange. Okay, so that's the video. It's called Utsava Prophecy. Welcome to the White House, JFK Jr. and Julian Assange. So, looks like that's available on BitChute, if I'm not mistaken. Karen, I'm just opening the link you sent me here. And so that's where you can view the video that we're... Oh, I see this on YouTube. Okay, great. Okay, so... let's see. Dan writes in, will the banks let us know when it's time? I don't expect, Dan, that the banks are going to make any kind of announcement. First of all, you've got to think about the number of people who are not clued into this. I think it's going to be under the radar, and I think it's going to be word of mouth. Pardon me. And I think that we will have the information for you when it's time, but do not expect it any time soon. I would say sometime after the election, and maybe not in 2020, but maybe in 2021. I don't know the timing. I'm not going to hesitate even. I'm not going to even take a guess at that. But we'll have the information when it's available to you. But I would not expect any official announcement from the banks, or the government, or President Trump, or anything like that. Nothing official. Okay, folks, I'm going to have to wrap it up for tonight, and we'll be back with you again on Friday for our patrons, donors, for our special Miracles Intel call. No call this Wednesday, and then we have a special event coming up the next week, which we'll be letting people in our local area know about. But in the meantime, we'll be back with you again next Sunday, and that will be the 1st of November. So, I want to say goodnight to Maria Love. Maria, again, thank you for your assistance yesterday and all you do to help us on the call, and those of you who've helped with their iCards, and just thank you for your service, Maria.
You're welcome.
And
my pleasure.
Maria, we will be on our call on Friday. You'll be our hostess again. and you'll be also with us during our live event. So we'll look forward to seeing you again. Okay?
All righty.
Okay, great.
Take care of yourself.
All right. And so, folks, I'm going to say goodnight because before I start coughing in your ear, and I apologize for our listeners in the queue that wanted to ask a question. We'll try and get to your questions on our next Sunday night call. Okay? So I'm going to say goodnight, and thank you, and God bless everybody.
Unmuted. Q&A session is over.